Good afternoon and welcome to the OOH-RAH Report. I am your host, Anthony Cavaretta, and today we are talking about Smackdown. We are 1 week away from the Royal Rumble, and we have to, build up for the Rumble. And we actually do get a lot of that in this show, and to be honest, it was a step up from last week's show, and a huge step up from this week's Raw, but not by much. And the show opens up with Roman Reigns, and once again, he goes down the line and he sets up why he's having this match against Kevin Owens instead of Adam Pearce. They show last week how Adam Pearce basically tricked Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman into having the match against Kevin Owens and not himself, which is clever, but also, once again, go watch my review of last week's show to get my thoughts on why I don't think it should be Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. But I digress, and we are getting Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns again at the Royal Rumble, this time in the last man standing match, which should be fine. He taunts Kevin Owens, and then we actually get an announcement for a match, main event, Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman. And to be honest, yes, I know in my, with hindsight being, they didn't go through with this match, but if you were just a fan who tuned on SmackDown, and you watched just the opening segment to get a gauge for the show, how many people actually would have turned their channel when you see Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman as your main event? Like, yes, you could guess that that's not going to happen, and it doesn't end up happening, but that's just really dumb in my opinion. Really, if you're really going to book Adam Pearce to get his ass kicked, just let him get his ass kicked. I get why they did it, but to me it was dumb, and we'll get to the main event in a little while. But once again, I just thought that was kind of dumb and, just weird. So then after that, we see Sami Zayn chain himself to the barricade. That's not going to play into the Intercontinental Championship match later in the night. But no, it's not. There's no way it does. So, and then immediately after that, during Sami Zayn talking about how he was, wrongly beaten by Apollo Crews last week, Charlotte and Asuka show up. And I love how they did this, because it's like, oh my god. Asuka comes out, and she's showing zero effects from what happened on Monday. And for those of you who didn't watch my Raw review, please do. And so Asuka fought Alexa Bliss, and there was a whole demon thing going on, the Fiend stuff that's going on with Alexa, and it scared the crap out of Asuka, and she's just showing none of it. Great continuity, WWE, just A+ for effort. And yeah, she has a normal match. Nothing happens, and it's a women's title match between Charlotte and Asuka and the Riot Squad. Billie Kay gets involved, and once again, I lose a few more brain cells because of this Billie Kay bullshit, and I hate it, because, once again, there's no reason for this. I feel like you're going to have her with the Riot Squad. She's not even wrestling. She's not even part of the team. She's a manager. Why? It baffles me that you're still going with this storyline, and it's not a good storyline, and I can't see how good it can be. I really don't know. Once again, it bothers me a lot that we took a really good tag team and broke them up to do diddly shit with them on 2 different shows. It annoys me, and once again, the storyline makes no sense. So why should I care? And all 4 of these women are going to be in the Rumble match. That's the only reason you're having this, is to say all 4 of these women are going to be in the Rumble match. Great. You couldn't have had them do anything else? You had to have a women's title match, and once again, you're showing me that the effects on things that happen on Monday don't affect things that happen on Friday, so there's no continuity there. You're showing me that Billie Kay, the Riot Squad should be women's tag champs, but they aren't because of Billie Kay shenanigans, who they don't even want there. And you're basically making Billie Kay look incompetent. Did I get that right? Because if I did, please do. If I didn't, please let me know. Because it was bad. Bad segment, bad storyline, moving on. So then after that, we get a great promo from Daniel Bryan explaining why he probably most likely is the front runner to win the Rumble match. But they do a really good job at building up other credible guys. Cesaro comes out after Bryan's promo about him saying that this is the last accolade he needs to really retire and be happy. Win a Royal Rumble match, which he has not gotten to do, and which fans have wanted him to do for a very long time. Cesaro comes out and says how he should, and he's tired of proving to everybody that he is great. We know he's great, and they should give him the ball and run with it. Which great storytelling by Cesaro, turning the outside world, the fans really getting behind him and him never really getting a chance, and turning that into a storyline for him in the Rumble. And then Bryan challenges Cesaro to a match. Cesaro's like, no, but I'll do an open challenge. Ziggler comes out. Ziggler explains his history at the Rumble match and how he wants to win and, just get the Mania payday. That's his character. Okay. And then that leads to a match between Cesaro and Ziggler, which is a really good match. And these guys have great chemistry. And you're building all three of these guys up to be kind of credible threats in the Rumble. I think you're really doing a good job building Cesaro up as a credible threat. And I'm interested to see. I feel like SmackDown's done a better job in general building up their Rumble matches than Raw has in recent weeks, and I'm excited to see who comes out, who the Final Four are, because, we also have a really rare opportunity that Reigns is not in the Rumble match, and Reigns has been the runner-up for the last few years, and I think we should have a really interesting Rumble match this year with the people who are involved and the people who are left. So I am intrigued to see how that goes. Then after that, we jump to another weird match as we have Sasha Banks taking on Reginald, Carmella's valet. I forget the actual term that they give him. He's a valet. He's just there, and this is a very just goofy match. Reginald does some good stuff. Sasha gets all her licks in. Sasha wins, and they're setting up her and Carmella at the Rumble again, which I'm okay with. I like their match at TLC, and I really do think that going forward, like this, they're building up Carmella to be a credible threat, and I kind of like it. I like her character. I think we have to find a way to get Sasha to Mania, because I know that she's not dropping the belt at the Rumble, and we have to get her to Mania to, I think, inevitably fight Bianca Belair or Bayley again, because we see later in the night that those two are still going at it, and I do see one of them being like the top 4 women I think that could win the Rumble match. I'll get into my Rumble predictions next Friday on who I think is going to win, but once again, I like the segment. It wasn't great, but it did the job. So after that, we get to the IC title rematch, and all you really need to know is, once again, this doesn't have a clean finish, and that kind of bothers me, but I get where they're going with it now. It's not like the first one where, Apollo just loses via shenanigans and he gets pissed, but this one kind of makes more sense. Once again, it's Big E and Apollo Crews. If you saw their match 2 weeks ago, then you will see it's the same exact match, almost copy and paste. Both good performances. Sami Zayn gets involved, and we get a no contest. So, yeah, but I understand that they are building up to a triple threat match between these three, and it should be a really good match. I think it's great. I just wish Big E did a little bit more. I get it. He's only been champ for a few weeks, almost a month now, and he hasn't really done much as a character to me. But once again, it's Big E on his own. I don't really know what to expect, because when he had his first IC title go, he didn't have much character to begin with anyways, and then he went to the New Day. So I should give it a little bit more time. But once again, good match. It's okay ending, but I do see where they're going with this, and I am looking forward to where they are going with this. So after that, we get a obstacle course between Bayley and Bianca Belair. That goes as you would expect. Bayley goes first. She takes her sweet time. Bianca goes. She knocks the whole thing out of the park. She does a really good fireman's carry of Otis. That got a laugh out of me. And then after that, Bayley gets pissed. They have scuffle. And yeah, building to the Rumble. Okay segment. Not much to really report on that. Then we get a really good match between Dominic Mysterio and King Corbin. And, we get a segment talking about Ray talking to Dominic, telling him, you good, you could do this on your own, yeah. And Dominic is like, why? I love Dominic's character at the moment, because he's really, he's so happy to be there, and he's so happy to be in with his father. And to be honest, I hope this is where they're going with this, because I saw online that a lot of people are saying that Ray should throw out Dominic in the Rumble match, and I think that'd be great. But what I would like to see is Dominic throw Ray out. And the reason I say that is because Dominic needs to, to get on his own, he needs to get out of his father's shadow. You can't just be Dominic Mysterio. He needs to be his own thing. And I think throwing Ray out and then eventually, I guess you could either do a tag match at Mania and have them win and Rey pass on the mantle of, Rey Mysterio, whatever you want to make the actual name of Dominic's character. Then you can do it at Mania, or you can have them face each other. I don't think you should have them face each other. I think you have a tag match, like we've seen in the past, and make it again. You can make it against Corbin and the Goons. That's fine by me. But I think Rey really is getting ready to pass on the torch, and I'm looking forward to it. And I really do hope we get some storyline progression in the Rumble with that. Corbin does win this match. Fair match. I like how both, and I'm interested to see these guys in the Rumble. And SmackDown has been doing a really good job building the Rumble. They kind of took it slow. But now you're the week from Sunday. You're in that 2-week period. This is where you really want to get everything in. Get all your shit in, and then we'll figure that out at the Go Home show next week. So then the main event is next, and the main event, as anybody could see coming if you stayed on long enough, it's not Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. Heyman says, "Oh, I'm injured," which is the same thing that happened last week with Pearce. Clever. And then Roman comes out, beats the piss out of Pearce, and once again, they screwed up here, in my opinion. Earlier in the night, Cole said Roman left the building, and Owens is not in the building. That was bullshit, because Reigns comes out, beats up Pearce, and then Owens comes out and beats up Reigns. If you're gonna do that, do not mention that they left the building. Show me that they showed Owens was in a car, so he wasn't in Tropicana Field. Fine. But don't tell me, oh, they're not gonna be here. Because then you're anyone can figure that out, that they're gonna be involved. Just have them be involved. That I never got. But they build up. Owens gets a lot of shit in on Reigns. He puts him through a table at the end of the show, and he stuns him, and that's it. That's how the show ends. And I'll be honest, second week in a row that SmackDown was good. SmackDown was really good, much better than Raw. I think Raw really was a chore to get through. SmackDown once again was not. SmackDown, they kept me entertained. There was a few blips that that once again I don't necessarily like the whole Billy Kay bullshit. I hate that storyline, and I think it's terrible. There's no continuity between Monday and Friday with Asuka. But besides that, everything was okay. There was a lot of good storytelling. They built up the Rumble really well, both of them, the men's and the women's. I think the only really bad thing that I really couldn't get past was the women's tag match. It came out of nowhere, and this whole storyline with the Riot Squad and Billy Kay, I don't like, so I don't really get the point of it. But at the end, the show was really good. SmackDown was really solid, much better than Raw earlier in the week, and I am looking forward to seeing how they top it off, because this kind of felt like, this could have been the go-home show, I think. I feel like this really could have just been the go-home show, and that would have been it. But I'm interested to see how they top this week, at the last Friday, the final show before the actual Rumble match. Let me know what you guys think about this show. Do you think that they did a good job building up the men's and women's Rumble? Is there one you think they're preferring? Do you like the Billy Kay storyline? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. They do go a long way. And I will see you all next time here on the OOH-RAH Report.